Sorry, I had to straighten out my computer, my camera position. So good afternoon. Um, this is Hirai, and today I wanted to work on something, and I'm going to share that with you on how I did it. And so we had our workshop last week, and it was called Kamishibai, drawing the scene for one of the Kamishibais. And we did draw a large picture. Let me see where that is. Here it is. And we did draw this, and it was just really a lot of fun to draw this little Japanese scenery of a girl looking for the peach. So I, thought, wow, I really like it, wondering what else I could do with it. And this week, I heard bad news about a person that I'm very fond of, and I was so sad to hear the news that her health was really declining. And I wanted to know what to do. And so I thought, gee, I'm going to make her a card, because that always, I think that it would make her feel really good, and also makes me feel good to be able to make a special card for this person. And so I thought, well, what kind of card can I really make that was meaningful? And I couldn't think of anything, and all of a sudden I thought about it. I thought, oh my goodness, how about that Kamishibai scene that we did last week? And I'm going to try to make that into a card. And so I did, and I'll show you what I made. And this is what I'm going to show you how to do today. And I made that little scenery, large scenery, into this little card. And it was so much simpler to do than I thought. And so this was just the perfect thing I thought that I could make. And actually, I already made one and sent it off with a really thoughtful message in there. And I hope that she really liked it. And I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep sending her a card every week. And so I was so happy that I was able to make this card. So today I'm going to show you how to make a card like that, and pretty simply. And I don't want it to take a whole lot of time to make cards. So I'm just gonna go ahead and, when I do it, I don't even draw it, but I'm going to do it now. So basically, what I want to do is I want to mix the colors first. And of course, this pink is my favorite, and this is shell pink, and this is in Holbein watercolors. So I use this a lot. And the brush I'm going to start out with will be a large size brush. This is a size 10. And then what I need for the for this card scenery is that I need a blue, and blue for the river. So I'm going to mix some, this is called cerulean blue in my watercolor set. And so I'm going to mix that blue, and then I want a very dark green. So that is a good green. And I might just mix a little bit of olive in here to lighten it up just a little bit. So I'm going to start with this, the pale pink, the green, and a blue. So I want to first start out by mixing the pink really well onto this little section. Put some water in here. Make sure that you have water, because we really need this to be very fluid. So I'm making it pretty wet. Okay, so I'm going to take and draw the cherry blossom tree. Wow, this is so pretty. You know, it's just so soothing to be able to just sit here and create something that you think is going to be so unique and has so much meaning to it. So here is my cherry blossom tree. And then I'm going to go and paint the green green land here. And this, obviously the grass is growing, so I don't really have this on my map because I forgot to bring a paper towel, and I don't want to get everything just sopped and wet down here. So I'm just gonna hold it up. And this is what I love about watercolor, because you could just kind of hold it up and just stroke over it. So here's my land. And then I'm going to go for painting the river. And I have to be very careful because normally I would wait until this dries, but I'm not going to be able to do that. So I'm just going to go ahead and try not to really get this bleeding going on here. I'm very careful. I'm just putting a very light colored blue in here for the water. And then when we made the larger one, if you remember, we didn't really do, oops, oh no, that's terrible. I just put my hand on there without thinking. So originally in the large one that we did, we just had blobs of water in here, and that worked out just fine. But to me, this card is kind of, you know, it's a smaller size. So I'm trying to keep it a little bit more simpler. And so I just decided I'm just going to paint the whole background as water instead of doing little blotches of water. Okay. And actually, when you make a small card like this, it's so much simpler because, you know, the spacing is small and it's not quite as difficult as painting a large scene. So I really enjoy it. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to redo this grassy area again because I put my finger on it. And then this will have to dry again. Okay, so while this is drying, I'm going to make a flower for top of the, okay, where did my flower go? Oh, by the way, the measurement for this card is, it is an A6 card that I'm making. So it's not the typical size, but it's just a little bit bigger. And A6 measures 4.5 inches by 6 1/4. 6 1/4 and 4.5 is an A6 size. And so if I cut this piece of paper little bit so that there's about maybe half an inch or so of edge that goes around. So I'm just going to paste it on there. So you could cut the inside of the card as small as you like or as big as you like, but as long as it fits into this. But I thought this A6 is a pretty good size because it is a little bit bigger. So Now I think I'm going to, oh, here it is. So what I did was, I drew a flower here that's gonna go onto the corner. And then I already have the little girl drawn here. And let me see here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw this little girl's face. So of course, all the faces I do always starts with a circle. So I'm gonna draw her face. I'm gonna just keep it very, very simple. And so this is her. And then I'm gonna, for the card I made, I put a dog and I put a rabbit. And of course, the person I'm making this for is in the pet rescue business. So I wanted to put in a dog. And then I'm going to put in a rabbit. I just keep everything very, very simple because I don't want to make it too complicated. So let's see here. Draw the eyes of the dog. And then I'm going to draw the eyes of the rabbit. And draw this little girl in. And again, they're keeping it very, very simple. Just a little face and a little 2 dots for the eyes. And I think for her hair, I'm just going to stay with, I'm going to use this color called Payne's Gray. I'm just going to go ahead and color her hair in. And you could actually do it any way you want, but because my picture is so colorful, I'm trying not to make the characters as colorful because I think sometimes you can't really see them because if you have too much color in here. So I wanted to keep these guys real simple. Okay, and then of course I always love cheeks on everybody. So just a little tiny little pink cheek here, pink cheek. The doggy has a pink cheek and rabbit has a little pink cheek. So those are the people I'm gonna put in the boat. And then now this flower here, I'm going to, let me see here. I'm gonna pick a color, like a real deep burgundy. I'm not sure if that's gonna look good or not, but some kind of a reddish color. So this flower, I'm just gonna go ahead and take this circle that's already drawn, and I'm going to draw the leaves on here. I mean, not leaves, but the petals. And I just keep it pretty simple, like that. And it looks like it's a little bud. It hasn't bloomed yet. So I'm going to draw little lines in here. Lines. Lines. There we go. And then in the center, I think I'm just gonna probably stay with the same color and put little dots in there for the stamen. And that's it. So now I'm going to wait until that dries and I'll put it right here. I'm gonna go back to the card now And I'm going to draw the cherry blossoms in here. And I have a watercolor brush that has a little bit of a rounder tip on it here. This is a size 4, and I'm going to try this. And what I want is a color that's a little bit brighter than the pink, but not really that bright. So I'm going to try for a little bit of red. Let's mix a little bit of red into the pink. And I need to check that color to see if it's working. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's a little bit deeper. So let's try that color. So I'm going to, oh, before I do that, I forgot, I'm sorry. I'm going to draw the little branches of the tree. So let me use the color called Mars Brown and Umber. See how that goes. So I'm just gonna go ahead and draw the little branches of the tree, cherry blossom tree. And then I'm going to go and draw some little cherry blossoms in here. And I know in the other larger one we made, I put a lot of blossoms on there, but for this card, I'm just going to keep it really simple and just stick with cherry blossom flowers just here and there. And then on this one, I decided that that I might add some green leaves on this to add a little bit more interest. So I'm going to be doing that. And I'm going to make that green pretty dark. And let's see if I could draw little leaves. There we go. Now I'm going to do some more waves and things in the water, just like we did with the other. And this is really, I love the way that Japanese artists, because they do this a lot. We do waves for water and they seem to make lots of little round puddles. And I really like that. It just really gives it a little bit more of a flair to okay, so here are the puddles in the water. Now I'm just going to go ahead and scatter some waves in the water, and you do that by It's the same technique as the way we draw leaves. You'll just start out with a tip and then you go down, down, tip, tip, belly of the brush. And you see how that the lines become uneven and it just looks like it's kind of moving around, right? I love this. Okay, so there we go. All done with that. And then on this, I'm going to, I have a little flower punch and I know that I could paint flowers on here or cut flowers out like we did on the larger one, but I just want to make these cards a little bit faster. So I'm just gonna, I just painted this purple onto a, I don't know, some piece of paper that I had, and I'm just gonna go ahead and cut these out. And you don't need that many. So I'm just gonna go ahead and glue these on here. I think when you make cards, you really can't, you know, don't want to spend a lot of time on them because otherwise you'll get tired of making it. So I like just taking shortcuts as much as I can when I make cards. Okay, I think that's fine. I think 3 is enough. Oh, maybe I add a 4th one. I'll do that. And so that's that for the flower. And the boat, I'm going to use one of these. I don't know, I have a few little washi papers here and I'm just wondering what would look good. I think maybe I'm gonna stick with this one. But this seems to have a nice Asian flair to it. So I'm not sure how large the boat will be, but I don't want it to be too large. So I'm just going to take a guess. And I'm just going to cut it. And then I'm going to figure out how wide, how tall I want the boat to be. And I'm going to cut it again. So this is not the way that we did the boat in our class. This is just a very fast way to do it. I just fold the 2 edges in like this. And then I'm going to take this edge and I'm going to fold the boat. I'm going to fold the boat in. And I'm going to fold this side in. All the way to the edge. And I'm going to open it up. There's the boat. And so I might just cut off just a little bit more from the top. And then I'm going to glue the 2 sides down. See, isn't this so much simpler than the way that we did the large one, right? The large pictures. So I'm just going to put a little glue in the back, and I think I'm going to put the boat right here. Right here. So there's a boat. And now I'm going to take those little figures that I cut, I drew. And I'm not sure if they're going to fit or not, but I'm just going to make it work. So just go ahead and cut the girl out. So, you know, if you're making cards, I mean, I always like to make more than one if I like the card, and I get all these things ready ahead of time. So when I start making the cards, I have these things already drawn up. Here's a little girl. So, you know, preparation is really helpful because you don't want to go ahead and cut these things out for each card that you make. So if you come up with a template that you think you like, then just go for it. And I would make a whole bunch of it when you have time. Just sit there and make them. And then and here's a little dog. And then here's the rabbit. This is so much fun to make. I just love making these cards. And once I find a card that I really think will work for a lot of more than just one person, I do kind of go crazy and I start making them. So here's those three little people. And then here is, oh, another thing I'm going to do is I am going to float a little peach. So I'm going to take this little, again, peach is very simple. You don't have to do a whole lot. Just draw a little circle. And peaches always to me have a little bit of pink to it. And I love that. A little blush to the peach. And then I'm going to put the leaf of the peach, and then the stem of the peach. Make that brown. There we go. We have a peach. So now I'm going to cut this flower out. Just that, oh, it is just a little circle, but it kind of has a little Asian flair to it. So I like this flower. And I'm going to put that right here for added color. You want these cards to look really whimsical and colorful and fun. So whoever you want to make this for, you could put whoever you want in the boat. It doesn't have to be animals or anything like that. You use your own imagination to see what is it that you're going for when you're making a card for somebody. And you just kind of go with, I'm sure you'll come up with lots of ideas. And I don't know why I want to put the peach in here, because I think it's because of the story of the peach boy that we talked about. And I just love peaches, just see it floating around. And then I think on the card that I gave, I put a peach here and I put the word love. I wrote love right on that peach. And it came out so cute. And I think this one here came out cute too, don't you think? And so that's what it is. And then you go ahead and glue the girl in the boat. Paste the girl in the boat the way you want it. And I like it because she's looking down at the peach. She's wondering, what is that? I think I could keep making these for quite a while because it's just so much fun to make. And then here's a little dog next to the girl sitting there. And then there's a rabbit. And then I would probably put a little glue inside this bolt to seal it. And then I will put glue stick on this flower. And you'll be right here to give us some bright color right here in the corner. And then I will put the peach floating next to the boat. And it's perfect because that little puddle is going around that peach. Then once you're done, you're going to put it on your A7 card. And you will go ahead and tape it on here. Use the double stick tape and tape your card right on here. And there you go. You have this really neat little card that you can give to somebody, and it is so special. You will never find a card like this anywhere. So it becomes your own, and it's just so much fun to do. It is so much fun. So guess what I did? I just made a whole bunch of these cards like this, and I put different boats on here. And then I'm just going to save these because I know in the future I'm going to want to make more of these for different people in my life. And as they go through different things in their life, I'm sure that I could do something very appropriate for that occasion if I just have all these background cards made up. So anyway, that is it for today. I got so excited when I made this. I wanted to share it with you, and I hope that you will make some of these. And I'd love to hear from you to see if you actually made a card like this. So anyway, thanks for watching, and good luck with your card.